and B here, then the minus comes with A and B becomes plus. Here also the minus comes with this one and this becomes plus. So that means what am I saying? Minus comes with this one and this becomes plus. Oh, I have to write it in that order. Sorry. So this is B minus A, right? And we already have a minus outside. So it changes and minus comes with B. So minus B minus A. Does it make sense now? Yes. So this is also a positive natural number. Hence, by part A, yes, so all these parts are actually consequences of part A. We have minus B greater than minus A. So if A is greater than B, then minus A is less than minus B. Let me just see it once more if I have written it correctly. I have of course written it correctly, but I just want to make sense of what I have done here. In place of this, what we are writing finally we are writing this one, that is B minus, oh yes, because their places get interchanged. Places get interchanged. So if places get interchanged, that means if I have B here and A here, I should have A there and but okay, because we are not making it plus. Okay, yes, fine. So this one we have got. So this gives us D. Then part E, order is transitive. This one will be easy. Assume A greater than B and B greater than C. By part A minus B and B minus C are positive natural numbers. So by a previous result, their sum will also be a positive natural number. So by which result, I don't remember that number exactly. So A minus C, which is equal to A minus B plus B minus C, is also a positive natural number. It was some 2 to 10 or something like that, but it is asserted that if you add two natural numbers, at least one of which is positive, then the sum is also positive. So we are using that here. And as far as this calculation is concerned, I leave it to you to do like this elaborate justifications. So you will see that ultimately you end up with A minus C. So by part A, again A is greater than C. So that's why order is transitive. And finally part F. So in part F we have to prove that exactly one of these three things is true. And here we are going to use trichotomy of integers that we proved previously. I don't have the number here again, so we are just going to refer to it by its name, by trichotomy of integers exactly one of the following statements is true. A minus B is 0, A minus B is a positive natural number, A minus B is the negation of a positive natural number. Okay. If A minus B is 0, then A is equal to B, and conversely, if A minus B is a positive natural number, then A is greater than B, and conversely, that is by part. Okay. If A minus B is the negation of a positive natural number, then and only then B minus A is a positive natural number. So by part A, that is equivalent to the condition that B is greater than A. Note that A minus B is 0 if and only if A is equal to B. A minus B is a positive natural number if and only if by part A is greater than B. Finally, A minus B is the negation of A positive natural number if and only if B minus A is a positive natural number. B minus A is a if and only if, again by part A, B is greater than A. So we see that exactly one of those three things, that is A is equal to B, A greater than B, or B greater than A, exactly one of them is true. So that is the order trichotomy. And this completes the proof of lemma 4.1.11. properties of order. And then there is the final exercise, which shows us that in some sense we are adding more and more points in our number systems now. So it's filling out the line completely, the numbered line, if you know what I mean. Exercise 4.1.8. Show that the principle of induction So because we are introducing more and more points, the principle of induction is unable to handle all those, how can I say that? You see, the principle of induction is like a domino effect. Now, there is a basis for induction. You knock over one domino, then it knocks over the next one, and that in turn knocks over the next one. So that is the induction step. All the dominoes fall, and so whatever statement you are trying to prove using induction, that turns out to be true for all the natural numbers. So this is a unidirectional, what may I say, a unidirectional infinity. However, once we have introduced integers and once we have put an order, it's infinite on in both directions, and the situation becomes more and more complicated when we transition from the integers to the rational numbers, and then even more to the real numbers. So that's what this exercise shows. Axiom 2.5 does not apply directly to the integers. More precisely, give an example of a property P of n pertaining to an integer n such that P of 0 is true and that P of n implies P of the increment of n. This means truth of P of n implies truth of the increment of truth of Pn plus plus. Here you should note that this increment is the one that we defined, okay, in the beginning somewhere in this section. N is an integer, n is not a natural number now. Okay, so increment of n simply means n plus 1. So it's that one where we mentioned that now the increment operation is not important because it has been superseded by the addition operation, which is more general. For all integers n, but that P of n is not true, for all integers in. So in spite of having all the things true that we normally have true in an induction argument, we have to, we can have a situation where P of n ultimately turns out to be not true for all integers. Thus, induction is not as useful tool for dealing with the integers as it is for dealing with the natural numbers. And here they mention the situation becomes even worse with the rational numbers and real numbers, which we shall develop shortly. So we have to provide an example of a Pn where n is any natural number for which P of 0 is true, and whenever P of n is true, then so is Pn plus plus. However, Pn is not true for all integers. P of n, okay. So what was that? Oh, I should not forget at this last moment. Oh yes. Consider since we are mentioning about P of n, let P of n be the following statement for an integer n, that n is a natural number. That is our statement, P of n. We end the solution here itself, and now let us see whether we have achieved what we want. P of 0 is true because 0 is a natural number, and whenever P of n is true, if n is a natural number, then n plus plus, that is n plus 1, is also a natural number. So all these conditions are true that we normally have in an induction argument. But clearly P of n is not true for all integers n, because all integers are simply not natural numbers. There are negative integers also. So that's why this is one such statement which shows that induction is not well suited for the set of integers. So that this completes the set of exercises. So after this we will now go towards developing the rational number system. So in